Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Your coach here. Coach is called on tap. I'm sitting here with Kyle. We're going to do our Tuesday, January 16th, Chalk Talk. We're going to have a college basketball pick 'em. There's not that many games. I mean, there is, Kyle, but there's not that many as I thought there would be. But there's some good ball games. I mean, the very first ball game uh, piqued my interest to begin with. But we got a lot of ball games. We're just going to run through these and see what you like, see what you don't like. There's already a couple guys on the Discord. I think Levi's already on Butler +6. Carson went into hiding for some fucking reason, but Butler's on. Butler's on. I mean, Levi's on Butler +6, and of course our boy Chetty's already on Tennessee. Uh,
Tennessee.
yeah, he was
He's
on.
not on Florida.
He's not on Florida.
Whoa.
Uh,
Whoa.
I think that's what he said. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I
I
can
mean,
double. I
Chetty
can.
ever saying anything bad about Florida that's a scary thing.
Oh, he was fucking around with Bubba. He's
Okay,
saying
that's what I
he's saying
thought.
Tennessee free. So yeah, he's on Florida. Anyway, well, first of all, I know you're snowed under over there. How the hell have you been, brother? Are you ready to rock and roll with me?
We are always ready to rock and roll indeed. Got the hot chocolate here to the right of me, and we are ready to rock.
All right, I got the sweet tea. Of course, I'm in Texas, so sweet tea is a must in my house at all time, especially with two kids running around. I need some. Here, let's do this. All right, cool. Let's start with Florida. 11-5, 1-2 in the SEC. Going to Tennessee at 4 o'clock Central Time. Tennessee number 6 in the nation, 12-4, 2-1. Tennessee is a 9.5 point favorite. Total is a 158.5. 9.5 for not only is this a conference game,
Mm.
but they're half-ass rivals also. What do you think about this game, Kyle?
Yeah, no, I think the rivalry game aspect in this one is why I'm picking Florida here. Not to win. I think Tennessee still wins this game, but I think 9.5 is just a little bit too
Yeah.
much. I think Florida gave Kentucky one hell of a game last weekend. I believe it was last Saturday they played. I mean, they gave him one hell of a game. Had a little bit of a rough week, went 1-1 last week, but I think the rivalry game aspect is going to make this such a fun game to watch. And I do think Florida is going to cover here against Tennessee, but I do think Tennessee does come away with the win, just
So,
not by more than 9.5.
oh, okay. Um, so you've got Florida to cover the 9. And what do you think about that total of 158? Can they shoot like that or not?
Well, Florida can shoot. They put up 87 points against Kentucky. They lost 90 to 87. They could definitely put up the points. It's Tennessee that I'm worried about that could potentially not get to that total. And Tennessee, I mean, they have Dalton Connect is unbelievable. He is their just offensive weapon, averaging like over 25 points per game. I mean, he is a monster transfer from Northern Colorado. They hit money with that transfer.
Yeah.
But I mean, Tennessee, they're known for their defense. They're known for the defense. If you don't play defense, you're not going to be on the floor playing for Tennessee. I can tell you that. So I actually think the under is the better play in this one.
I got you. Are you gonna have a play in this game? I'm gonna play Florida. Uh, If I can buy a half a point, and take it to 10, I probably will. But I mean, 9.5. I'll take Florida on the road at 9.5. Are
Yep.
you
Yeah,
playing
that
this
that I
game?
will play. I will be playing that for sure.
All right. Well, let's go on to 5 o'clock. We got Sanford and Western Carolina, both 15-2, 4-0, 4-0 in the Southern. This is Western Carolina -1.5. Total is 158.5. Do you have a lean or anything on? Do you know anything about these two teams?
I do know. I know a good bit about Western Carolina. They're 15-2 on the season. They've been one of the better mid-major. They've been one of the better quiet mid-majors. And you haven't been hearing them like the other mid-majors, like Appalachian State, like James Madison. You haven't been hearing them like that because they ended up losing a game by 26 points to a team that they probably should have won. I'm
Right.
trying to remember the team right off the top of my head, but I can't remember right now off the top of my head. But I think that loss really took people off of Western Carolina, but I mean they bounced right back after that loss. I think 1.5 is way too little. I think Western Carolina definitely gets that 1.5. I could see them winning by double digits.
Really?
I
Well, let's
could.
add it. I'll bet that, dude. If you're gonna tell me that the top two teams in the conference are playing each other, and the line is less than 2,
Hmm.
I'll take the home. I'll take the home favorite anytime.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially at 5, it's already going to be dark over there. Let's take Western Carolina at minus 1.5. All right. Well, that's the first 2 games already 2 bets. I'm kind of getting worried, Kyle. I'm going to have too many bets today. 5:30
Now
Butler
that-
Xavier. We got Butler 11-6, so they're supposed to be the better team, right? Xavier 8-8. Only
Butler
2 weeks
definitely
reach.
should be the better team here, but Xavier is a tough place to go into, walk in and win. It's a tough environment to win in. This year, Xavier lost a lot last season after that tournament run that they made. I believe they bailed out, I believe, in the Sweet 16, if I remember.
Yeah.
Or that could have been the year before. Yeah, they lost in round one last year, actually. That was the year before. But like I was saying, they lost a lot of talent from that team. There's a lot of senior leadership on that team.
Yeah.
This is pretty kind of like a rebuild year for Xavier. This is like an NIT type year for Xavier. So I do think Butler can definitely pull this one off. I think 5.5 is way, way, way too much.
I like it. I like that in and of itself. I'm not asking Butler to win. They can lose this game. I don't care.
Hmm.
Just cover the 6. Go
Yeah, I
in,
think they can do that
be the better
for sure.
team. Yeah,
Yep.
and cover the 6. I like your take. Uh Purdue, another big favorite at home against on the road. I'm sorry, they're on the road at Indiana.
Hmm.
Indiana doesn't suck. I mean, their record shows 12-5, 4-2 in the Big Ten. Purdue's 15-2, 4-2 in the Big Ten. Now Purdue's going to go to Indiana and beat them by 10 points.
No,
Come
absolutely
on,
not.
man.
This is a huge rivalry game in the Big Ten. Big rivalry game, battle for Indiana. This is a fun game to watch every single year, and Indiana gives Purdue fits every single time Purdue walks into that building. Either Indiana wins or Purdue walks out surviving. 9 points is way, way, way too much. This is definitely one of my better plays of the day right here. It's definitely Indiana to cover that.
Yeah, that's just too, especially in conference play.
Hmm.
They're two of the better teams in the conference. Uh, that's 10 points is way too much. I like it. Will they go over the 150 mark?
I think so. The last 2 games, Purdue over, the total has been set at 152 and 152.5, and they both went over by more than 15 points. So I like the over in that one. Purdue 12
Really?
and 5 against the over 12 and 5 against the over this season. So
Wow. Okay. Hold on. I mean, if they've gone over the total by double digits,
back
how
to
many
back
times?
games.
Back to back games.
Back to back games.
They're hot. Ride the hot hand, right?
Hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
you
They
got to
even
ride.
lost that one game. They lost to Nebraska by 16 last week, and they still went over.
Dude, how good is Nebraska?
They're a weird team. Well, they're
Okay,
they they're the type of team where it's like one game you're gonna see them play really good, and then the next game they're gonna lay an egg. And
I
like
got you.
that's Nebraska basketball for you. You do not know what you're gonna get out of that team ever.
Okay, all right. Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. All right,
Yeah, pretty much.
dude, a team that we talked about last night, or I asked you about last night, TCU. You said they're trending upward. You like this team at 9? They're number 19 in the nation, 13-3, 2-1 in the Big 12. They're going to Cincy. It's 12-4, 1-2 in the Big 12. Cincy's favored by a bucket. What do you think about this game?
I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna respect TCU, and I'm gonna stick with TCU here. I think TCU wins this game outright for sure. On the road at Cincinnati, I get it. It's their second road game of the conference season. They're coming off 2 big wins, but that first road game was at Kansas, and they didn't seem phased at all by the fog whatsoever. And Cincinnati's not Kansas. I'm sorry, you're not going to get that environment at Cincinnati. So I really do like TCU here also because I like another Big 12 game later in the night for an upset. And
Okay.
we'll get to that in a little bit. But the Horned Frogs, they're playing like the best team in the Big 12 right now, and they're proving it by beating Houston, by beating BYU, by should have beaten Kansas. Questionable flagrant call at the end there. Strongly disagree with what happened at the end of that game, but can't go back. Got to move on. But
College ball ain't rigged like the NFL, man. Come on, let's go.
oh no.
Let's play this even. Uh, so we got TCU plus 3.5 on the road at Cincinnati tonight. Will they hit the 151, 152?
There's a chance, but I'm gonna say I think I'd more stay away from that one tonight, just because there's a chance it could go either way. It could be an extremely offensive back and forth game, or it could be a defensive game.
Yeah. Okay.
Neither team is really amazing at the offensive end and amazing at the defensive end. It's kind of more in the middle.
I hate. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you so you can get an idea of how I like to bet and not to bet.
Hmm.
On the side is I hate teams, especially in conference, where the line is 7.5, 8, or less.
Hmm.
Give me closer to a double digit. I'll dive into that game and check it out because college basketball is so fickle. One turnover with a minute left, a foul, they start fouling, make it buckets. It just changes. You can go from you're 2 points away to you foul them, they score two, now they're up four. You miss a three, they shoot a layup, now they're up six within 20 seconds. So I don't like games under it, but I think I'm going to risk a little bit tonight because I like what we're talking about here, and especially these teams that are good, solid teams on the road in conference. I've got another. We got one here, and I say because I just saw this Syracuse at Pitt, 11-5 Syracuse going to 10-6 Pitt, 2-3 Syracuse 2-3 in the ACC. Pitt's only 1-4, but Pitt is favored by 7.5. The
Yeah,
total is
Pitt is really,
147.
really struggling right now, but Syracuse is just against competition. Syracuse just hasn't shown up. This is probably a game where I'm gonna stay away from it. But if I had to guess, I think Pittsburgh at home should get the job done. I mean, Syracuse just got beaten to the ground by North Carolina on Saturday, and I mean, it was bad. It was ugly. Syracuse didn't look good whatsoever. But I mean, Pitt's struggling right now too. So this is just two teams that I'd more stay away from right now.
Okay, so you said they're struggling, and I did this with Tristan once. Sorry, Tristan. I did this with Tristan once, and I did it with Carson another time. They told me, "Hey, these two teams are really struggling. Take the double dip, whatever." I said, "Well, shit. If they're struggling, then why not take the under?"
Hmm.
And the under hit both times. So you got Syracuse and Pitt at 147.5. What would you think happens there? I know you're not
I
betting it, but if you had
under.
to, under.
Definitely under.
Yeah, I mean, if they're
Definitely under.
struggling, I mean, doesn't that make sense? Have you
Hmm.
ever looked at that? I mean, if you're struggling, then why?
I've
Why?
never looked at it, but I mean, it definitely makes sense. It's something I think I should definitely look into.
Yeah, I mean, if I can't make a free throw or a 3 pointer, I
Hmm.
mean, just like the Charlotte Hornets in the NBA, just take the under and just free money.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? That's just
Fair enough.
that was one of them at San Antonio. Anyway, let's move on. Wake and Wake Forest and NC State. I was on TikTok earlier today talking to a couple of dudes. I don't call them friends or anything. That we just because of TikTok and social media, we'll jump on each other's live every now and then. I jumped on his live and we were talking about it, um, and they really like Wake Forest on the road here, man. Plus 2.5. So you got Wake Forest 12-4, 4-1 in the ACC. NC State exact record 12-4, 4-1 in the ACC. Wake is going to NC State. NC State is given 2.5, and the total is 149.5. What do you think about that game?
I mean, this is one of those games where it's like they love Wake Forest, and I can see why they love Wake Forest. I think they have the advantage at the guard play for sure, but I think NC State has the advantage of the big men down low. But I mean, this is a game where honestly, I they love Wake Forest, but I'm gonna go against. I think this is a game where if Wake Forest was home, I would take Wake Forest, but NC State is home, and I right now the trend is the home teams in college basketball are looking phenomenal. I mean, we saw that last week with all the unranked teams beating the top 10 teams all all on their home floor. And I think I'm going to follow that trend here for this one. I think NC State could cover that.
So,
Not by much though.
well, I mean, it goes back to my West Carolina Stanford game.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're going to give me the two exact same teams, and you're going to give me under a 3 point shot, just give me the home team.
Yeah.
I mean, a home team is worth 3 points, or
Hmm.
so they say. So
Yeah,
NC
Wake
State.
Forest last year came on. Yeah, they ran last road game for Wake Forest, they lost to Florida State. And Florida State is 9-6 overall. So,
Yeah. So let's. I like that. Give me two even teams, two of the same records, or two playing. They're both playing at the same rate, at the same speed. Give me the home. Give me the home. If it's under three, it just makes sense. Why risk it for the biscuit? Moving on. Missouri State, Indiana State. You got anything on this? I don't know either one of these.
I love Indiana State.
Well,
That
they're
team is
14 and 3, 5-1 in the MAC, right?
yeah, they're so much fun to watch. Indiana State is so much fun to watch.
They're
I think
favored
12
by
and a
12
half.
and a half, dude.
I think
Jesus.
they could do that. I think they could do that. They're
Okay.
such a fun team to watch.
Well, if they're going to do that, then they're going to hit the 155 over, huh?
I think so.
All right, let's take Indiana State. I'm betting a lot of games tonight, Kyle. You better be hot, bro.
Well, let's hope indeed. Let's hope
I'm already on one,
indeed.
two, three, four, five, six, seven. I might.
Indiana State, their last three games. Final score 77-66, 89-78, and 94-64.
There we go. So it's still a short total. How about Missouri
Mhm.
State? Is it? I mean, they're 10-7, 2-4. That's a mountain, right?
Missouri State, not so much. They've scored 60, 53, and 74.
Yeah. I think
That that
Indiana
that
State minus the 12.5 is the play. You're right.
definitely,
You're right. Let's stick with that one.
definitely.
All right, we got an SEC battle, brother. Uh, Missouri 8-8, 0-3 in the SEC. Bama 11-5, 3-0. Conference game in Bama. Saban's gone. Minus 14.5. What do you think?
This is a game where I'm Missouri's 4-12 against the spread this year. That's good enough for me to take 14 and a half.
Holy cow, that's a
It's a
lot of
big number.
points.
It's a big, big number. But Alabama is coming off a week where they just beat South Carolina by 27 last time they had a home game. They won by 27 against a 15-2 South Carolina team. Missouri
Okay.
4-12 against the spread. I it's a lot, but that's enough for me to bet Alabama 14 and a half
And
minus
then
14.
Bama goes to Tennessee on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I consider that, in football. Remember, I always tell you, what are you sandwiched against? Is it going to be, a
Mm-hmm.
letdown or whatever? You don't think that happens here? You think
No, not here.
take
Not
Bama?
against Missouri. Not against Missouri.
Let's do it, baby. I'm down. I am down. I'm getting excited here. That's a lot of games, but that's all right. All right. It just sounds good.
Oh yeah.
All right. We got Richmond 11-5, 3-0, going to Dookie. Duquesne at 9-6, 0-3. Well, why Duquesne is favored by 3.5?
That's a great question.
What the hell is that all about?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Is somebody hurt?
There's got to be something I don't know about here because there's no reason they should be favored whatsoever. There's got to be like an injury somewhere.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I don't. uh,
No, I don't
That's
see.
that's free money right there.
You think?
That's what it looks like. But I mean, I will say, I saw Texas. It was Saturday. Texas was only favored by 6 against West Virginia, and West Virginia ended up winning. So maybe stay away from this one. Maybe.
Well, I don't see. I don't see an injury report
Neither do I.
at all. I mean,
I'm at a loss of words for this one.
dude, their team stats are identical. I mean, they're identical,
Leading score
with the
18.5
exception
points.
of the Duquesne's lost their last three in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and Richmond has won their last five, six. But their their average is 74 points each. Duquesne's giving up 69 a game. Richmond about 65. Field goal percentages are about 45 each. They got about 35 rebounds each, 13
Mhm.
assists. I mean, they're this is
Yeah, a
uh
lot. Yeah,
so maybe it's
a lot of people are on Duquesne minus 4.5.
are they really?
Yeah, 64%, 64-34. But the money line, 81% is on Richmond money line, and 19% on Duquesne. Money line's at plus 152 right now for Richmond.
All right. We'll have to study this a little more. I don't that's too
Yeah,
much.
that's an interesting one
That's
right
that's a
there.
good one right there. I wish we had a one of these idiots from the Discord or your idiot that knew anything about it. All right, let's move on. Central Michigan, Ohio. 8-8 Central Michigan at 7-9 Ohio. Ohio's a 10.5 point favorite. Here's another one. Central Michigan is 3-1 in the MAC. Ohio's 1-3 in the MAC. Their
10.5
records
way too much.
their records the same,
Way too much.
but Ohio is a 10.5 point favorite. Give me Central Michigan, dude.
Yeah, way, 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 way too much. Ohio's not a tough place to play. You kidding me? You might get 100 people in the stands. That's Central Michigan all day long.
That's here's one. Bowling Green is 12-4, 3-1 in the MAC. Going to Miami, Ohio, 8-8, 2-2 in the MAC. BGSU is giving up 1.5 on the road.
1.5.
Yeah,
You said they're going to Miami,
they're
Ohio?
going to Miami. They're laying a 1.5 on the road.
Hmm.
that
That's
smells like a catfish to me.
yeah. Yeah, that does. I think Miami of Ohio. Think of Miami of Ohio. Give me
Who they
that.
play? Who they? Let's see. St. Bonnie. Hold on. Where did I get this from? You got have you seen this team play?
Miami of Ohio and Bowling Green now. No, I have not.
All right, skip it. Western
Yeah.
Michigan. Hey, we got two undefeated MAC teams coming up. Western
Do we?
Michigan, Western Michigan at Akron. Okay, Akron is
Akron's been
given.
playing good ball.
Dude, they're given 14.5.
That is that might be a little too much there.
Well,
That's
Akron's
a little
12-4 overall. Western Michigan 7-5, seven
they're
and five.
they're playing good ball, but 14.5. Again, a conference game where they're both undefeated. No. No, I can't take that. No way.
Dude,
Western Michigan to cover.
their stats are almost identical. Dude,
It's just like that Duquesne and Richmond game.
Western Michigan won their last 5. Akron won their last 4.
Yeah,
Dude, well, Western
no.
Michigan's averaging like 88 points a game, 87 points a game.
Yeah, 14.5 is just no. Absolutely not.
Is that dude? That looks like a bet for me.
Yeah.
I'll take Western Michigan.
You gotta write that one down.
Let's see, Western Michigan plus 14.5.
That needs to be a Discord ride, everybody. Western Michigan to cover.
All right,
Everybody in the Discord.
let's go to two shitty MAC teams. Ball State going to Eastern Michigan. Ball State given 1.5. They're both 8-8. Ball State is 0-4 in conference. Eastern Michigan is 1-3. And Ball State is given 1.5. The total is 138.5. I don't know anything about these guys.
I have a friend that goes to Eastern Michigan, so give me Eastern Michigan.
Because of that,
Exactly.
okay, moving on. Buffalo, Toledo. You know anything? It just doesn't sound interesting to me. Well, hold on.
No.
Buffalo's 2-14, 1-3 in the MAC. Toledo's 10-6, 4-0 in the MAC. Toledo's given 15.5 at home.
15.5. What is with these mid-major games that are
I
these
know.
double-digit spreads?
Well, I mean, you're getting number one versus number eight.
I get that, but that's still a big number.
I don't
That's
like.
still a big number.
All right, let's go to somebody we know. Here's a small number. Number 9 Baylor's going to Kansas State. 14-2 Baylor, 3-0 in the Big 12. 12-4 K State, 2-1 in the Big 12. K State is a 1.5 point favorite at home. Total is 140.5. Give me a winner.
This is the play of the day right here. Kansas State money line.
No shit.
This Baylor is due for a loss, and this is the perfect place to lose. Kansas State is playing good basketball. They're coming off a hard fought 1 point loss to Texas Tech. Baylor has been playing with fire the last 2 weeks. They played one really good game, then they played bad and escaped with a win. Played one really good game, played an okay game, escaped with a win against Cincinnati. They're going down tonight. It is about time these Baylor Bears go down, and Kansas State is the team to knock them down.
Really?
Yes.
Well, so this is Baylor's first road game in 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and this is K State's first home game in 2 weeks.
That place is going to be rocking tonight.
Okay, let's take K State for another squad ride here, man. I
Mm-hmm.
like I like the sound of that one.
It's yeah.
It's time for the upset.
Like I said earlier, when I said, TCU wasn't going to be that Big 12 team to lose tonight. It's going to be Baylor.
Okay.
It's going to be Baylor.
So you got number 21 Dayton, who I have yet to watch. 13-2, 3-0. They're hosting St. Louis, who's 8-8, 1-2 in conference play. Dayton is giving 12.5.
12 and a half is not enough.
Really?
This Dayton team's a team you got to watch out in March. When March comes around, you got to watch out for this team. This team is very talented.
Gosh.
Very talented. They've been playing very well. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row and make it 11 tonight.
Okay, 12.5 it is. Let's rock and roll. It seems like a lot, but it's not. That 12.5
Yeah.
in a conference football game is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
12.5, they could be up by 3 with a minute and a half and
Then you
end up
could go on a
covering.
10-0 run. Yep.
Yeah, and they can
Yep.
cover this shit. So, why sweat it, right? Why sweat the small stuff? Temple SMU, does that intrigue you at all?
Oh,
Temple,
that's not SMU's a good team.
well, they're
Minus 13
11-5, 2
though.
and 1 in the American.
Minus 13 though.
It's another double digit.
Eh. No, I don't like that.
All right, we got let's see.
I'd stay away from that game. I'd definitely stay away from that one.
Here's St. John.
Mm-hmm.
12-5, 4-2 in the Big East. Seton Hall at home. Seton Hall at home, 12-5, 5-1 in the Big East. St. John is giving the home team 1.5. Talk to me about this
Seton
one.
Hall is absolutely going to win this game. Seton Hall at home. I love Seton Hall at home. Seton Hall at home has won one. Let me read this to you, all right? The last few home games for Seton Hall. Their last home game, they beat Marquette. The other 2 games ago, they beat UConn by 15. Then they beat Rutgers by 7. How
Oh,
can I not take Seton Hall at home?
well, you talked me into it.
How can I not?
I have yet to watch either one of these teams, but we're going to do it
Seton
tonight.
Hall they're a dumpster fire on the road, but man, you put them in their own building and they learned how to play basketball again for some reason. And they got a big game versus Creighton coming up on Saturday too.
Okay. Momentum
Also at
ride.
home. Also at
Momentum
home.
right here. Hey, the Jayhawks, number 3 in the nation, 14-2, 2-1 in the Big 12, are going to Oklahoma State, which is 8-8, 8-8, 0-3 in the Big 12. Kansas is laying 7.5 in Stillwater.
Kansas is going to destroy these fools. They're going to
Really?
destroy. Yes. The last two games for Oklahoma State, they've lost by 24 and 17
Well, then why is the line so low?
because they almost beat Baylor 2 weeks ago. That's my guess why the line is so low. They took Baylor to overtime 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
That's the only reason I could think about it. And the fact that last week, obviously, of what we saw, Kansas lost to UCF on the road. Maybe they see another, one of those another road losses. I don't see it though. UCF's at least a respectable team. Oklahoma State's just bad.
Well, that was supposed to, earlier in the season when it started. They were fade bait.
They're 6-10 right now against the spread. 6-10. So they're
Okay.
not. It's not great, but I mean it's not pretty.
Yeah. So you got Wisconsin. We got Big Ten action. Number 11, Wisconsin going to your place, Penn State. Penn State no look so bueno, but Wisconsin's only a 5.5 point favorite at Penn State.
Wisconsin's playing too good right now to lose to Penn State. I just don't see it happening. Penn State, they're just not good. They're
Yeah,
they're
but I
just
mean,
hands down not good.
nobody's talking about win and lose. Are they going to cover the 5.5?
No,
That's the problem.
I don't think so.
You don't think Wisconsin covers 5.5?
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about Penn State.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
think Wisconsin does. Wisconsin's playing too good a basketball right now.
All
They
right.
haven't lost. They haven't lost a Big Ten game yet this year as well. They're number one team in the Big Ten.
Well, here's a top 25 matchup that you talked about both these teams, and now we got
Hmm.
them both head to head. 24 Iowa State, who's 13-3, 2-1 in the Big 12, going to BYU, 13-3, 1-2 in the Big 12. BYU's favored by 4.5.
This is another one of those Big 12 games, and I am gonna take Iowa State. I really like how Iowa State's playing right now. I think BYU is starting to show their true colors. They're starting to slow. I don't want to say they're falling apart because I mean they're still playing good basketball, but they couldn't beat if they couldn't beat Cincinnati at home. I don't think they can beat Iowa State at home.
Okay, I'm going to stay away from it. It looks a little fishy.
Understandable.
The home team, and
BYU is a
four and a
tough
half.
place to play. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, and it's at
That
eight.
place is
It's
that
at eight
place
o'clock.
rocks.
It's at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
It's just, yeah. I'm gonna lay off of it. I see what you're saying. Moving to the ACC, Georgia Tech at Clemson. Georgia Tech 8-8, 1-4 in the ACC. Clemson 12-4, 2-3 in the ACC. Here's another. Clemson is favored by 11.5 at
Clemson's
home.
lost three of their last four, but they did just beat Boston College by 11 on their home floor. Last week, Georgia Tech's coming off that close game to Duke. For some reason, Georgia Tech is Duke's kryptonite for God knows what reason. But 11 and a half, if you could buy half a point down, I'd take 11, but 11 and a half, I feel like Clemson's going to win by 11. I don't feel like they're going to win by 12.
All right. Fair enough. I'll lay off of that one. I don't.
Yeah,
You
I'd stay
sounded a little
away.
shaky.
Hmm.
Going to the SEC. We got Georgia 12-4, 2-1 in the SEC. At South Carolina 14-2, 2-1 in the SEC. South Carolina big time 7.5 point favorite.
I like Georgia to cover, South Carolina to win. This is
Okay,
two very evenly matched teams.
so the total is at 136.5, which is telling me it's going under.
Hmm. I think it's going to go under.
So if it goes,
South
if
Carolina, more of a defensive minded team. Georgia, really only two main scorers on the team. I do like the under here.
Yeah, if it goes under, then give me the team. Give me the dog on that.
Hmm.
Georgia and the under. All right, here we go. My Aggies with a big time win against Kentucky. Now they're on the road. Arkansas. We are 10-6, 1-2 in the SEC. Arky is 8-7, 0-3 in the SEC. We're going to go to Arkansas and give them 2.5 points over and under 147.5. What do you think here? Upset time?
I mean, I'll be honest. Arkansas just looks like they've given up. Like we're in January, and like this team they just look like they've given up out there. They're not playing as a team whatsoever. It's you could tell the team. It's all about me, 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 me.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you get a bunch of stars on your team. And that's what happened. They hit the transfer portal. They got every single big transfer portal name out there. And I mean, these stars just are not gelling together whatsoever. I don't see, and Eric Musselman isn't doing much to get the team together. I like your Aggies. I do.
All right. Well,
I do. I just,
last time I bet against the Aggies, I did the reverse jinx and they beat Kentucky. So I'm gonna
there
have to
you go.
disagree. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think
All right.
all the talent in Arkansas comes together tonight
Mhm.
and puts it on my Aggies. Reverse jinx. All right. Let's move
Fair
on
enough.
to Air Force at Colorado State. Uh, Colorado State 13-3. Air Force
Yep.
7-8.
Yep.
Colorado State 15.5 point favorites at home. What do you think?
Um, this is Colorado State when they play at their best. I think they can cover this. Last few games though they haven't been playing at their best, so I think I'd more stay away from this one, but I definitely think Air Force can cover this. I also like the over. I think 135 is too low.
That's what I was. That's what I was. I just clicked
Yeah.
over
Yep.
to another site here, and I was looking at it. Um, Air Force averages 64 points a game, and
Hmm.
Colorado averages 82 points
Yep.
a game.
Yeah.
Pretty tight.
The over looks nice.
Yeah, that
The over looks very
that's
nice. I think that's the play in that one.
that could be the play, right? Either that or I got to go into my book. I'm not going to do it now. It'll take too much time, but maybe maybe the Colorado State team total would be something to look at if they were, at 80,
Hmm.
right? Is that what I said? 80?
82.
Yeah. If
82.
they were like around the 79 to 80 mark, maybe that
Hmm.
would be the play, the Colorado State team total. Um, San Jose State, Fresno State, 1-3 in the Mountain West is San Jose State. Fresno State 0-3 in the Mountain West. Fresno's a 2.5 point favorite at home. Total is 135.5.
I'm gonna take the home team here. Minus 2.5. Two very similar teams. I like it. Home team for sure.
We got so San Jose State averages about 75
Hmm.
points a game. Fresno about 69. The total is what, 135? Isn't that what it said?
Yep.
136.
135.5 is what the total is.
Yeah, so the books are right on the mark
Hmm.
on that one. That's a stay away from me. Let's see, UNLV, Boise State. Um, this is really, really interesting. Okay. I hope you know a little bit about this because this one smells like fish.
Hmm.
UNLV 8-7, 1-2 in the Mountain West. Boise State 12-4, 3-0 in conference.
Hmm.
But Boise's only favored by a nickel when the total is
Boise's red
140.
hot.
Huh?
Boise State is red hot. They're coming off two wins versus Colorado State, and they just went into Nevada and won the game. I do like minus 5.5 here.
It
The
seems too
The
low.
Bronx. You're right. It
That's what I'm
definitely
saying.
seems too low.
I
It
mean,
definitely the UNLV did beat New Mexico last week, and I think maybe that could be why it's as low as it was. And they just almost beat Utah State on Saturday. They only lost by 1 point.
okay. So
So
Boise.
that's definitely could be the reason of it being minus 5.5.
All right. Here's what I'll do because these are 9 o'clock games my time now.
Yep.
So this is depending on how we do during the day
Hmm.
will depend on whether I hit these or not.
Yep.
All right. And then we'll end up at 9:30 with Utah State 16-1, 4-0 in the Mountain West. Going to New Mexico, who's not a bad team. 14-3, 2-2 in the Mountain West. New Mexico is the one favorite here. 5.5.
This one, I was expecting the line to be a lot lower. A lot lower. And I was going to take the New Mexico money line, but it's minus 5.5. Oh, that's a tough one. I really like New Mexico here, and really the theme so far, other than that Nevada loss there, has been whoever's been home in the Mountain West, that's who's been winning those games, in those big games where the top teams have been playing each other. When Colorado State lost last week to, I believe it was New Mexico. Yep, they lost to Utah State and they lost to Boise State. Both times are on the road. Played New Mexico at home, they won at home.
They both average over 80 points a game, Kyle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the over. By the way, take the over. By
Over
the way,
what,
take
one
the over.
156.5.
this game's going over. This game's absolutely going over.
I'm not looking at the side. I'm just going to bet the over.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's the best play, but I do think New Mexico is gonna win this game. And if that's a game where you're bored, like dead to watch that game, that's gonna be really fun to watch.
Well, we
These
get it.
Mountain West games on Tuesday night that have been tipping off at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern time. Man, if you got time to watch it, they've been fun. They have been
Yeah.
fun, close basketball games. Just entertaining basketball to watch.
All right. So to close it out, this is a lot of games. I don't know if I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
bet them all. Man, this is
Definitely
I
not.
I never bet
I
this many.
recommend definitely limiting yourself
All right.
for sure.
So we've got Florida plus 9.5,
Mhm.
Western Carolina minus 5.5,
Mhm.
Butler plus 6, and Indiana plus 9.5. Okay. And then we got TCU, NC State, Indiana State, Bama, Central Michigan. Then we have Western Michigan, K State, Dayton, Seton Hall.
Mhm.
And then Kansas, Whiskey, Boise State, and the Utah State over. So 17 games too much for me. I'm gonna have to scale that down.
So, no, I mean,
I'm gonna have to scale that down a little bit there. Kyle. Uh-oh. We're just gonna keep on
talking about
rolling here.
three.
What
In
is
case
that?
you all, yeah. Instead of betting all 17 of these games, I think we should narrow it down here to three plays here, our three best plays of the evening. I
Okay.
think just so you know, people aren't going out there, they're going nuts betting all these 17 plays. Potentially, could be on fire, but you
Yeah.
never know. Never know. Never know.
Okay.
So, Kansas State money line going to be the number one play of the evening. I absolutely love Kansas State in this game. Like I said, Baylor has been flirting with danger. This is a team you don't want to flirt. You don't want to flirt with danger with Kansas State, especially on the road. Give me Kansas State money line. Give me the Colorado State and the Air Force game over. 135 just is not enough for this one. And then give me Indiana to cover against Purdue tonight. 9 points is just too much in a big rivalry game like this, especially on the road.
So those are your three: K State, Indiana State, and the Colorado State over.
Colorado State, Indiana against Purdue, not Indiana State.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Indiana against Purdue. All
Hmm.
right. Here's mine. I like Butler plus the 6. Okay.
It's a good
Uh,
one.
yeah, I like Butler plus the 6. Dayton minus the 12.5. Bama minus the 14.5. Okay. And I thought I had one more that I told the boys on the Discord. Indiana.
Yep.
Indiana with you. Yeah. I'm with you.
Hoosiers.
Oh yeah, the Hoosiers. I'm with you on the. I think the Hoosiers are going to be a squad ride on our Discord.
I hope
But
so.
those, I'm probably going to bet a few more. But those are the best ones that I like.
So am I. And the only way you can see the rest of our plays is
Hook
by
us up.
joining the Discord,
Yeah.
right?
How do we do
Correct.
that? It's on our YouTube channel. Join
Right in
that.
the description. Right in the description.
Yeah, you can go. You can go to Coaches Call Zero. Follow us on TikTok. It's there. Hit us up. Ask us. Comment, and we'll send it to you. We'll invite you. Give you a personal invite. We're not charging anything. Today I woke up and I got on TikTok and I watched all these guys. They're telling you, hey, give me 20, 25 bucks a week or 25 bucks a month to join our Discord. You can get all my free plays, all this or that, it's that. You know, we're not asking for money. We're not touts. We're not trying to grab money. We're just trying to have some fun, bet some games, win some money. Come join us. We also have hockey, basketball, NBA, football, still NFL still going on, all that good stuff. So come join us.
Can't forget about Donnie and Tristan in the tennis world.
Yeah, Donnie and Tristan, they're in the
Forget.
tennis world. Hockey, we got Levi and Roland and shit. They're in hockey. They're doing their thing in hockey. We got a bunch of stuff going on. We got some hot hands in college basketball also. So come join us in the Discord if you want all of our plays. Come join us, man. We have a good time. Make sure you like, follow, share, hit that bell for notifications because we're trying to do at least one small podcast a day to just give you what we're doing and how we're feeling on the day. Anyway, Kyle, thank you for being on. January 16th, Coaches Call Chalk Talk, Daily Chalk Talk. Anything else, Kyle? You good?
No, no, I'm good. Good on this one.
All right, man. Well,
Stay
stay
warm,
stay,
everybody.
stay
Stay warm.
warm. Stay warm over there. Stay safe. This is your coach and Coach's Call on tap. This is our daily Chalk Talk. Thank you for joining in. Hope all your tickets cash. I'll see you later. Bye bye.